Good evening. With winds gusting up to 90 miles per hour, the most severe red weather warning is in place tonight along Scotland's east coast, meaning forecasters consider there is a risk to life. Storm Arwen swept in today, bringing with it sleet and snow as well as storm force winds. Travel has been disrupted, schools closed and power supplies have been hit. With more, here's Louise Hosey.
This time last week, parts of the country were enjoying unseasonably warm temperatures of 16 degrees. But today there was no mistaking the arrival of winter as Storm Arwen made landfall. Bringing gale force winds and blizzards in some parts, its severity has led to the Met Office taking the highly unusual step of issuing a red weather warning. The last such warning in Scotland was 3.5 years ago, as the country was battered by heavy snow and wind during the so-called Beast from the East. Today, with conditions on some roads described as hazardous, police were warning motorists not to drive under any circumstances.
We're in a very unusual situation. It's been a number of years since we had a red weather warning. That alone should tell people about the seriousness of the situation. And you don't want to over-dramatise this, but equally people, if they look outside, they'll see how challenging the conditions are becoming, and they're forecast to worsen over the coming hours. And that's going to affect road, rail, a whole host of activities. And that's why it's important people think long and hard about the need to travel.
There were also warnings that the power network could be affected. Suppliers said they were ready to respond.
So our teams are very well versed and well prepared to deal with any damage to our network. We would reassure customers that if they do lose supply, we'll try and get them back on as quickly as possible. But please give us a call on 105 to report a fault, or if you have any particular concerns and you need extra support, which we'll try and provide. Journeys
by rail and by sea have also faced disruption. ScotRail has placed speed restrictions on all its trains, and a number of sailings to and from Shetland, Orkney and the Western Isles have been cancelled.
We do have to be cautious around this, and we would just urge everyone not to travel or not to go out unless it's absolutely necessary.
We've got fairly extensive disruption across the network due to above force 8, force 9 gales in some places, generally of a northerly direction. At the moment there's only about 4 services that are still operating. We're asking all our customers to keep in touch with us, not to set off on their journeys before checking the service status, and if anybody's got any particular issues or any problems, get in touch with us and we'll do our best to help you for when services resume.
Tonight, as warnings remain in place, the public are being advised to stay at home unless their journey is absolutely essential.
Well, ferry services have been hit, with services to the Northern Isles cancelled. Louise joins us now from the Northlink terminal in Aberdeen. Louise, what's the latest?
Yes, well, that red weather warning is still very much firmly in place here in Aberdeen and across most eastern parts of Scotland. We've already seen the significant impact of Storm Arwen earlier on today with schools, a number of schools in Moray, the Highlands and Aberdeenshire closing early to allow children to get home from school. And of course, there's been that significant travel disruption by rail, by road and by sea. Now, of course, as you heard in my report there, the Met Office does not issue these red weather warnings lightly. In fact, the last one was 3 years ago in February 2018 during the Beast from the East storm. With a red weather warning comes a warning that there is a real risk to life, also the potential of flying debris, as well as damage to buildings and that potential travel disruption. Well, this red weather warning is going to remain in place until at least 2 o'clock tomorrow morning. Until then, the message really to anyone in any affected areas is quite clear. Please stay safe by staying at home.
Absolutely, Louise. Thank you very much.